This is KVUE News at 5.
Dangerously hot weather hits central Texas. What you can do to stay safe in the heat and when we could see some relief.
New developments in the investigation surrounding Jonathan McCarty, what it could mean for efforts to overturn the conviction of Greg Kelly.
Texas getting some high-powered backing as it goes up against a new law banning so-called sanctuary cities.
Hi, everybody. I'm Mike Rush.
And I'm Quita Culpepper. Terry Gruca has the evening off. Central Texans, we are feeling the heat with some of the highest temperatures we've seen in a long time.
Let's get right over to Chief Meteorologist Albert Ramon, who has the numbers and a look at some possible relief. Albert?
Yeah, relief for the weekend, but take a look at these numbers. Record heat recorded at Kent Mapry just in the last hour at 104. The old record 103 set back in 2009. 1 degree shy so far at Bergstrom for the record at 102. Temperatures right now ranging from upper 90s at Blanco and Fredericksburg to triple digits over many locations, including as high as 106 in Llano. But this is the important part. Once you factor in that heat with the humidity, it feels like 111 LaGrange. It feels like 110 Austin and San Marcos with the heat index. So here's the good news. This is the hottest day of at least the next week. We're cooler tomorrow with showers in the forecast, and those rain chances even linger into next week. Your full forecast is coming up.
Thanks, Albert. When it's this hot, it is crucial that you pay attention to the temperature and the heat index. Even when the heat index is as low as 80 degrees, fatigue possible with prolonged exposure and or physical activity. You can actually suffer from that. And when the heat index rises above 90 degrees, you can see heat stroke, heat cramps, or heat exhaustion. And when it goes above 105 degrees, heat stroke is possible with prolonged exposure. At 115 degrees and above, heat stroke or sunstroke are highly likely.
And that danger from the heat is why it's important to take more care during the summer. KVUE's Nicole Rosales spoke to a Round Rock doctor who talks about the kind of injuries they see in the ER during the hotter months. She joins us live from the Greenbelt near Zilker Park. Nicole?
Mike, this is a really popular spot for Austinites. We have people here walking, biking, jogging, even saw 2 people in bathing suits in this area. So it is very hot out here. And this is all in over 100-degree weather. And we all know hydration is key, but many of us aren't doing it properly.
This morning we thought if we could get out here at least by 10, but we could already feel the heat already.
Whether you like it or not, summer is officially here.
And obviously no makeup, because it's going to be sweated off anyways.
But the Texas heat isn't keeping people inside. Runners and bikers are still hitting the pavement around Zilker Park.
More of a run walk than a jog.
On average, a person can lose between 3 and 4 pints of fluid within an hour by running in the heat and humidity. That's why staying hydrated is vital.
Because if you're already not hydrated enough, then you're out there and you're playing catch up.
Dr. Ross Topelman, the ER medical director at Baylor Scott & White, says dehydration can lead to a more serious health issue, something he sees quite often.
This time of year, we usually see about 4 to 5 patients a day with some sort of heat injury.
From nausea to dizziness, it's a preventable sickness. So, how much should you drink to stay safe?
There's no magic number. Mostly it's how your body is, because everybody's going to sweat differently. Everybody's going to lose more water differently. Everybody's kidneys are going to function a little bit differently.
I get hydrated in the mornings before my run.
Dr. Topelman says that's the important step. Drinking prior to stepping out and during your workout, the best way to ensure you won't become overheated. Now, of course, outside of drinking plenty of water, take frequent breaks. It's recommended if you're doing about 10 minutes of light work outside, then take about a 15-minute break every hour. Some signs to look out for when you're going out. Just make sure your stomach's not upset, you don't have any dizziness, confusion, or even lack of sweat. Those might be indicators of a heat stroke. Live in Austin, Nicole Rosales, KVUE News.
Thanks, Nicole. New developments in a case we've been covering from the start. A Texas Rangers investigation into a new suspect in the sexual assault of a child that led to Greg Kelly's conviction will soon be complete. KVUE defender and Austin American-Statesman reporter Tony Blahetsky is live in our newsroom with what happens next. Tony?
Well, Quita, the Rangers report looks into whether Kelly's former friend, Jonathan McCarty, may have been responsible for assaulting that 4-year-old boy instead of Greg Kelly. It will be used primarily by prosecutors to decide what to do next in this case. And according to court documents, A copy also is likely to be given to Kelly's lawyer in his effort to get Kelly's conviction overturned. The public, though, will have to wait. According to a motion filed in Williamson County Court, quote, the Rangers investigation has uncovered previously undetected related criminal activity that continues to be under investigation. A judge has signed an order requiring the report to remain confidential. The Rangers have been investigating McCarty for several months, but he has not been charged with anything related to the crime. He remains in the Williamson County Jail on a probation violation for drug charges. A jury convicted Greg Kelly of that crime, which happened at a child care operated by McCarty's mom. But now there is new evidence that prosecutors say indicate McCarty may have been responsible. That evidence includes photographs of nude children on his phone, and according to documents filed by Kelly's legal team, confessions McCarty made to at least 2 people. We do expect the results of the Rangers investigation to be aired at that hearing, currently set for August, when Kelly will try to have his conviction overturned. Live in the newsroom, Tony Plahetsky, KVUE News.
Family members of the victims of the deadly bus crash in Uvalde are learning more about the case against that driver. The DA met with the victims' families late this afternoon at First Baptist Church of New Braunfels. 13 senior citizens died in the crash that took place in March. A truck driven by 20-year-old Jack Young crashed head-on into the church bus as the group of senior citizens was returning from a retreat.
When the state of Texas goes to court next week to defend its new law banning so-called sanctuary cities, it will have some backup. The U.S. Department of Justice. The DOJ made the announcement today. And KVUE political reporter Ashley Godot joins us. And Ashley, the state is obviously pretty happy about this.
As you might imagine, Queenie, Attorney General Ken Paxton said he's grateful for the assistance. The state's new law, SB 4, requires all law enforcement honor ICE detainers, which are voluntary requests to hold someone in jail while their immigration status is investigated. Chiefs and sheriffs can't have policies against detainers, and elected officials who violate the law can be removed from office and sent to jail. The day after Governor Greg Abbott signed the bill into law, Attorney General Ken Paxton filed a judgment against Austin, asking a federal judge to declare the law unconstitutional. In the days after, numerous Texas cities sued the state. Today, the DOJ filed a statement of interest saying the law doesn't violate the Constitution and that the department will help Texas fight the cases. News that comes as no surprise to Austin Mayor Steve Adler.
Doesn't surprise me that the Department of Justice has taken a different position than all the big cities in Texas. You know, I think the issues are whether or not this law makes our city less safe. And to the degree that the state can step in and tell our local law enforcement what they have to spend their time doing or not doing it, it makes us less safe.
U.S. Attorney General Jeff Sessions released this statement about the lawsuits. Quote, President Trump has made a commitment to keep America safe and to ensure cooperation with federal immigration laws. Texas has admirably followed his lead by mandating statewide cooperation. He went on to say, quote, the Department of Justice fully supports Texas's efforts and is participating in this lawsuit because of the strong federal interest in facilitating the state and local cooperation that is critical in enforcing our nation's immigration laws. A federal judge in San Antonio has scheduled a hearing in the case of the cities against the state on Monday. Then Thursday, a judge here in Austin will hear the state's case against Austin. Mike and Quita.